I'll let people roll in here for a minute because we haven't been live for exactly a week, which was nice. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm setting up some new stuff in the studio. I had some help with that. I want to thank Life Giant Media for that one because they really helped out, or he really helped out in getting things together. So that was cool.
Yeah,
Stalbert Messiah is already giving us detention for showing up late. Thanks. Sorry about that. I had some like major mic issues out of nowhere. So what's up, guys?
Not much.
Just living the dream.
Not much.
Not much.
It's nice to be back. Well, kind of. We're still kind of working out some kinks here. So obviously we are working on improving some things. Maybe growing a little bit here, trying to get a better setup going on. But we also I think we need some better content because I don't know. Drama is only amusing to a point, and then it just becomes redundant, right? Do you guys think so?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while, there's like a nugget of drama that comes up that is extremely amusing. Really, I feel like we have one tonight with Furry Potato again. That bitch.
Oh God.
Yeah, but it's even with that, I'm we were talking about it in Discord before we went live here, and I'm kind of groaning, I want to stop talking about it, but this is one of those instances where I feel like we should, and I feel like it's worth it, but I don't want it to become all consuming as it has, because then what happens is, we're making videos a few times a week, we're going live a few times a week, and we're doing nothing but talking about ourselves, and that is bullshit. It's boring. Nobody wants to do that. I don't want to do that. So, on that note, I want to open it up by saying that we want to do some brainstorming tonight, guys. Us, all of you, everybody, they get in together and figure out what kind of content do we want to make here? What do you guys want to watch? All that stuff. And I also have, and I'm going to put the link in the chat periodically tonight, a survey that we put together, for some feedback here. If you fill out the survey and you want to put your email address at the bottom of it in the box where it says, we're going to be doing a drawing for some official merchandise, as cool as that is, but we're also going to throw in there $75, probably a Visa gift card, maybe PayPal. We'll figure it out on Sunday when we draw this. But so if you enter the survey and you put your email address in there, then you have a chance to win a coffee mug and some cash.
Ooh.
Yeah. Is it the emo?
That's cool.
Emo coffee mug. I want the emo coffee mug.
Yeah, we can work it out. I figure what we'll do is we'll just the way that the feedback comes back on my end, it makes a list. So we'll have a list of email addresses there, and rather than write out all the email addresses and draw them that way, we'll just kind of count how many there are, numerical down the bottom. We'll throw in 1 through 10 or 70 or 75 or whatever it is that we end up getting, and we'll draw from there, so that it's nice and neat and easy to do. And Finn, no, Massel's wife is not printing merch for us. I know, I thought that she would, but anyway, guys, so I don't know what direction everybody on the panel here, when you think about what we're doing here, and what we're interested in and what we want to put out there, what do you guys kind of see for us doing moving forward? I have some ideas, but I'll let other people start because my ideas are always kind of fucking crazy.
I miss the days of picking on auditors like Glenn's and their stupidity.
I don't so much miss picking on them as I do investigating them and exposing them to frauds. Yeah, I think it takes away a little bit of credibility, and we sit around picking on them. It's kind of I don't know.
Pat and Harry, you can do both.
That's true. That's true.
Especially with Glenn. I mean, Glenn's priceless.
So, I feel like we've been neglecting him lately. Poor Glenn.
See, I feel like we cover auditors, again, kind of go back to picking apart what they're saying, and covering their activities. And then I think we could also look at, flat earthers and citizens as well too, if we wanted to, and maybe even look at because I know a lot of people like body cam stuff. If you wanted to do that from time to time, that would be cool.
Toast wants Billy Tibbetts.
There's only so far we can go with Billy Tibbetts and Toast. As you recall, Toast, because you were there with me, he actually he declined to sell us rights to documenting his life. Regrettably, it's too bad, but
you gave him a great offer, though.
Yeah,
it was a nice offer. I thought, yeah,
I thought so.
You know, I think in general, I know that right now, as I'm looking through some of the feedback that we've already gotten, it looks like reaction videos. We have an interest in those. Definitely the profiles of the First Amendment auditors. And I think I agree. I mean, I definitely agree with you, Pat. Like when we just sit there and pick on them relentlessly, it does kind of take some of the credibility away from it. And I think at our core, what we've always tried to do is understand what type of person engages in this kind of activity and why. So moving forward, I would like to really start building, and we're not professionals, so it's not going to be a science or anything, but sort of, our own profiles of these individuals and try to discern what's motivating them as best that we can, whereas we're not in their heads. But, I think that we can start to almost build the profile of a First Amendment auditor at this point, because we've been able to really dissect the similarities between most of them.
And that's almost at it again, too. So he has some good videos out there about his whole Poster 7 and stuff again.
Audit Press, hi, thank you. We have a tater tot here. So Audit Press, I do see you, I hear you. I see that you're parroting off tonight's drama. We're going to get to that, trust me, because Furry Potato is possibly the most delusional human being that I've ever encountered in my life, but we'll get to that.
Thank you, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Kate, I would definitely get.
No, thanks.
I would definitely get in more. I would definitely do some more videos like you did of the Brian situation, where it's sports oriented, because everyone loved that video. I mean,
that was awesome. Yeah, that was good.
But obviously, it doesn't even have to be auditors. It can just be stupid shit that you see.
Yeah, and I know that AZ and I have been talking, and we're working on setting up a format to do some reaction videos, me and her. Because I think we make a pretty good pair. It looks like we still have an interest in panel discussions. One thing that I'd like to do with the panel discussions, and I know I've said this and said this and said this, but I really mean it, guys. I fucking hate StreamYard. I think that it's a stupid program. I miss going through OBS, and then we've sacrificed a lot of production value with the StreamYard. So I know that Pat and I, well, really, I can't say and Pat has been talking to a developer, right? about kind of switching over our programs so we can get back some of that production value. And I think that we need to start looking at smaller panels, possibly organized debates. So where we have like a Throwdown Thursday, I think that we could start hosting debates. And you don't have to debate me. You can debate anybody versus anyone, really. And we'll work on moderating that and giving it a platform and trying to come up with some interesting motions in there.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And, obviously, it would be cool to get people from the other side over here, you know what I mean? So that there can be that type of debate that, is, passionate, you know what I mean? So.
Get too scared.
But I'm saying, you don't have to debate me or Doofy. I mean, Doofy is quite the master debater. I wouldn't want to debate him at all.
Doofy's a masturbator.
And he debates a lot, right? Gotcha.
So yeah. And I know, this is not leading well in our feedback so far, but I do have an interest in conspiracy theories. And we were talking earlier today in Discord, and I have said that, all right. So my biggest fear in life, I'm going to lay this on everybody right now because there's not that many people here anyway, but I am terrified of alien abduction. It's a legit fear.
I've been told before.
Here we go.
Here we go. Since I was a kid, right? Since I was a kid. Hi, Robin. I missed you so much. Anyway, Robin, I'm telling you something personal because we're friends, Robin. I have been terrified of alien abduction, right? And so Harry had moved to an area that I was under the assumption was rife with alien abduction cases, and I was quite concerned for his safety. But something like that, I would love to do a full scale investigation, kind of dig into the bowels of these stories and come up with with some sort of investigation on these kind of fringe theories and things like that. See, shitheads afraid of midgets. Like, I believe honestly that aliens are as real as midgets, to be fair. So I don't believe in much, but I do believe in aliens. Hold on, we got questions here. Have you inexplicitly begun to sculpt Devil's Tower from mashed potatoes? No, but I guess we can talk about this too. Yeah. So
JTL, not scared of anal probes.
I'm serious. They will do stuff to your butt. They come in the middle of the night. Like, no, this is serious though. Like, I feel like we need to crack this open. We need to figure out if aliens are real.
I think you're mistaking aliens, Kate, for Polly Crispy.
What's that?
I think Kate's mistaking aliens for you with the whole butt fetish.
Oh, I don't have a butt fetish. I have a boob fetish.
You have both fetish, okay?
Okay. Jeez.
All I know is that they literally, come down from the sky and snatch you up in a tractor beam, dude. It's no joke. And they put stuff in people's noses, like implants and stuff, like terrifying. I literally, I can't hear, the opening music to Unsolved Mysteries from the 80s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instant panic attack every time that I hear I'm 36 years old and I'm still like, fuck, like I'm hiding under my covers as soon as I hear that. And what is it? John Quinones, his voice is terrifying. Yep. It all goes back to aliens. It all goes back to aliens.
Kate, do you think the aliens are doing the COVID testing?
They brought the COVID.
We're blaming China over there. It's probably freaking Martians. You were like, fuck these guys. Let's just bomb them with the virus and get this over with.
Well, then, Kate, you should crack this wide open then. You'd be doing the America a big thing. So go ahead.
And I said that I would go through like a full, the normal obsessive investigating that I would do on anything else that catches my interest. And I would end it with a documented trip to Roswell, New Mexico. I will not go alone. Somebody has to go.
We would go.
Yeah,
Roswell, New Mexico is awesome. I've been through there. It's a very cool little town.
I think we all should go.
And they fully believe in their aliens.
Izon, what you're talking about is that one time that Josh and that crazy girl, whatever her name is, played with. Yeah, they played with a Ouija board on a stream for an hour. It was pretty lame. Everybody knows that ghosts aren't real. That's a given.
Yeah, ghosts are aliens. Jesus.
So that's a conference. I don't know what the word is. A controversial
conflict of interest.
No, controversial.
Topic.
A conflict of interest. What did the ghosts represent you in a previous case or something?
Exactly.
Okay, you should
solve a case.
You should play some old Art Bell fucking radio shows.
Art Bell's the greatest.
That's a good idea. But yeah, let's talk about this furry thing because I feel like we're gonna. So can we play this video? Does anybody have it?
Patrick?
I'm looking.
All right, perfect. So yeah. So furry is still, just absolutely out of her mind, trying to just intimidate us into silence because she is convinced that we have caused her YouTube channel to get a 2-week ban, which shouldn't it be up by now? Shouldn't that be done? Why is she still so fucking upset? But what we have discovered in the interim is that there is. Do you guys remember what this Jewish organization is called? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Jewish Action League?
Yes, the Jewish Action League. Thank you. So the Jewish Action League presumably is not thrilled with Zoe because she is a anti-Semitic douchebag of the highest order, right? So they actually have this website and, social media presence or whatever. They have a whole goddamn page that is dedicated to a step-by-step instruction guide with buttons, right? All you gotta do is press a button to report and take this bitch down. They're pissed off fucking Jews, okay? They're not playing.
Wow.
So for the 80 billionth time, as much as I would take credit for Masso Report taking down your stupid fucking YouTube channel, furry, it would be hubris to do so. It would be really overestimating our influence and worth. So that's what Furry's doing, but I'm not going to be that narcissistic. I know that it wasn't us, unfortunately, but she is just absolutely consumed with this. So she, let's just play the video because she's making some crazy claims, absolutely crazy claims.
I'm going to try and find the parts pretty quick because I have a feeling if she sees us doing this, she'll private it.
Probably.
Oh yeah, get out of here. Go back to Hollywood, yo. Everyone, sorry. Hey, Samuel Montoya, weeks. We're onto the website now. So there's going to be a lot more added to the YT tyranny. I also just put up a new video on the November. It will be up tonight or tomorrow morning. It's already uploaded. I just got to call the IT guy to go ahead and post it. So there'll be a new video posted over there tomorrow, the latest. I just got to text him and tell him that
we don't care about
uploaded this morning.
Her fucking YouTube channel, Pat.
So it won't
Not
let
YouTube,
me website. Send me an email, Dave, so that way I can send it, forward it to the IT guy, and he'll take care of it. So, like I said, I'm going to start uploading more videos over there to the website now.
Can we skip past this?
Yeah, I'm just trying to download it in the background here.
Yeah, I also wanted to talk to you guys about the elections. Videos. He's e-begging. Hey, give me buddies. Preventing your message from getting out there because they don't like bigots.
Okay, do you remember how far into the stream she started talking about that?
I don't. I honestly.
Bigot.
It's right after the CCW bigot comments.
Okay.
Do you know how far it was in, Paulie?
Maybe about a minute, 2 minutes after that.
Okay, so that's fine. We can listen to. I just don't give a shit about her website or what she thinks about the election, to be completely honest.
Oh man!
I think
Come on,
we should start
everyone.
a PayPal for her nasal drip.
He's not the knight in shining armor. He didn't prosecute any bad cops. So anywho, hey Twyla, hey Blue Flyer, hey Margaret. All right, to the new district attorney, we pay you to do your job. Just do your job.
We're pretty close to it now.
Or Furry's coming for you. I'm going to film the shit out of you.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, here we go.
You don't want me to film the shit out of you, man. You don't. It's on the main channel. I can't. This one's not monetized, Baka Tribe. This channel's not monetized. Sorry. So yeah, to the new district attorney, we're expecting change, my man. We're expecting change. So, yeah. Hey, Robert Appleton. I will, Misty. Big Rakes. Michael Crook. Hey, here you go. Hey, Puff and Pass. Go find what bridge CC Dumbs is living under. Hey, dude. Hey, the trolls were saying when I was in Boston that I was going to get a $500 a day non-quarantining fee or fine. You big fat dopes. That's how dumb you guys are. That's how dumb
one of the
you trolls
mods
are.
delete
California was not considered a super spreader state, so I didn't have to quarantine. Dumbasses.
Pause.
Yeah, make sure the mods are reading the rules and blocking people for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about shooting anybody. But this is so. I just want to point out right here that Furry has now called us dumb. We were speculating on a fee that it had recently changed. So California had recently become like a low risk state, and we corrected ourselves in real time. But I want to point out that she's calling us dumb now because we're going to talk about in a few minutes how dumb she is and that why she is such a dangerous person because she's unhinged and she's fucking the biggest idiot, but she thinks she's smarter than she is. That's a dangerous combination in a human being when you think you're clever, but you're not. And I'll tell you why her movement is not clever, but continue.
Man, you guys, those trolls got a very loose definition of the law. A very loose definition of all the laws. Harassment, quarantining, all this, man. They're jokes. Bunch of dopes. Super loose. Like Kate's vagina, the baby pest dispenser.
Wow.
Vagina, super loose.
Who? Those?
I have a vagina.
Of the laws. Furry potato. Kate said that I have a pattern of harassment. And you know what she claimed as my pattern of harassment? Is supposedly, here's the funny thing, and I'm going to go verify this just so you guys know. So, supposedly that fat fuck Felipe, you see how all the F, triple F, fat fuck Felipe. I had audited with Dragonfire in San Diego one time. So on the way back from San Diego, I had to take him directly to LAX to go back home to Arizona. So on the way up there, I had noticed Dragonfire was on the passenger side seat, and he's like this, looking down on his phone like this. And I was kind of like, what the hell's he doing? So we get to the airport, and he's getting his bag out, and he's giggling, and he's laughing. I'm like, what's so funny, dude? And he's all, I just put a little like text or whatever saying on his channel, I guess in the community page, that he was outside of Felipe's house. And at this point, no one knew where Felipe lived except for his little tight circle of people. And I was like, well, that's kind of stupid, but whatever, I don't care. So then I take off. I drop him off at the airport and I take off. Well, Felipe turned around and said, oh my God, Furry and Dragonfire are outside of my house right now with a Mocktail cocktail. They've got it lit, and they're about to throw it at my house. Mind you, no video of this whatsoever. And I'm sure, I can almost guarantee that LAX has at least one camera at LAX that saw me come in, drop Dragonfire off, and then drive around the concourse to leave. I'm almost positive that happened
with them, and like, there is evidence that. So this is not the story. She's changing the story, right, to try to weasel out of culpability. The fact of the matter is that while she was with Chauncey Hollingberry, who, by the way, is in federal lockup right now for harassment and stalking, they had threatened to firebomb this family's house and then showed up. Just because there's video footage of you being at LAX with this guy, something, all that does is confirm that you were with him. You don't have the plausible deniability there. But oh no, Teresa. From what I understand, the footage is not long gone. But you think it is, but it's not.
There's no police report. There's no incident number. And supposedly he was so shook, he packed up in the middle of the night and left Huntington Beach. Well, I know where that address is, but it's my pattern of harassment. That's why I say these trolls have a loose definition of the law.
Okay, wasn't that your exact wording? Or, maybe I shouldn't say. Never mind.
Yeah, no, through the course of this, she's also actually inadvertently tied herself to other acts. She thinks she's clever and she's just not. But again, now, before she said nobody knows where they live, right? And then she just admitted she knows where they live. Like,
right.
I'm gonna go do an investigation and see if Felipe's word is true, and see if he moved out. Picture and your address on it. Well, it's actually not your address anymore because you said you moved. You said you got so shook. Go do an investigation and see if Felipe Hemming moved out like he said he did. You only move in the middle of the night if you own rent. If you owe rent, that's right, Johnny Bravo. And Felipe and that whole crew over there is shady. So who knows? My instincts tell me it was all a lie. You want to know why my instincts say it was a lie? And this is not a brag, and this is not a good thing. Trust me, I know this is not a good thing. But if he had any proof whatsoever that I was even holding a Mocktail cocktail, holy crap, the cops would have, they would have had every department in Southern California looking for me. Period. That would have been a dream come true to the law enforcement. To come and get me on a felony? Are you kidding me? They calling the feds for real. and that's not me bragging. I don't want that kind of heat, but I got it. Shit, they can get me for something. They have an all points bulletin across the whole state. Arrest Furry on site. We got that bitch. You got that right, Megabyte, in a second. Oh man, that's with it. You damn district attorneys always say they tried to ghost me. They tried to ghost city cops. Kidding me? The sergeant and Mancia, they said they weren't gonna, or they didn't show up to trial, and so the judge was gonna dismiss the cases, and then for sure I'd be begging. I ain't too proud. So anywho, so I just wanted to touch bases with you on that to let you know if they haven't came up with the actual, hey, Jackie Lacey, you're out, but Gascon's got a comfortable lead. He's dumb. So dumb.
No, let's listen to all this.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna make a request to meet with him and see if he'll correct that injustice. Because whether you guys, hey, Bolthead, so whether you guys know it or not, whether you guys know it or not, I had a total of 5 felonies. Strong-arm robbery. I was pepper sprayed in the face. The shooting, and a couple other ones. Jackie.
Harry, did you say something?
I just told him to spit it out already.
Yeah.
Lacey declined to, and everything. Mind you, everything's on video from start to beginning, or from beginning to end. It's all on video. Again, they can indict and prosecute a ham sandwich, but they can't prosecute somebody that's on video committing a felony. Come on, really? She failed, or she declined to prosecute all 5 times. Hey Vera, so I'm gonna do my best to get in front of Gascon. I really am.
Okay, this is boring
and
now.
see if he'll go ahead and take that case.
Where's
I was just trying to get to the part. Yeah, that's what I was trying to find.
I'm being serious. Did to me for your foot rubs. I'm not gonna give you a goddamn foot rub.
I think it's right around here.
Gross.
Mr. Potato, hey boy. Hey Cynthia. Yeah, she's always wanting foot rubs, everyone. Mrs. Potato always wants foot rubs. Good stuff. I am going to apply for EDD.
All right, here we go.
You said EDD, was it?
Just go back to it. Go back a little bit and let's listen to what she says.
Everyone, Mrs. Potato always wants foot rubs. Man, I'm going to have real buff forearms from all the foot rubs I have to give. I'm going to look like Popeye with big old forearms and stuff from all those damn freaking foot rubs. Man, it sucks. I am going to apply for EDD. No, not EDD. You don't get, you're like a subcontractor with YouTube. You don't get unemployment. But I'm going to go apply for CalFresh and all that because I'm not making any money. I'm down to 0. So I got to go to DPSS tomorrow and see about applying for that. Because whether or not my landlord kicks me out or not, I still got to have CalFresh.
Pat, pause for a second.
So.
How about apply for a job?
Yeah, right.
But, I mean,
There you go.
Just delusional. We cannot take responsibility for the responsibility is like laid squarely at Furry's feet with this. You are breaking the terms of service, right? And therefore you are put on a ban because you have offended enough people that they're reporting these infringements. So the easy solution would be stop breaking the terms of service, but she can't do that because all of her content circles around verbally accosting and harassing people in public. So, I mean, at this point, like applying for unemployment, you were never employed. Get a job.
That's true.
Yep.
Right, exactly. Where did she get the money for the trip to Boston? She's worried about her rent, but she flies 3,000 miles to our state to try to intimidate us into silence. That is ludicrous. Pay your fucking rent, lady.
Well, she didn't pay for that trip. She e-begged for that, so.
Oh,
yeah, but then
100%.
you know what? Honestly, at that point, if you're gonna e-bag for your rent. Do what you gotta do to keep a freaking roof over your head. I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like on the list of priorities, like it's really like it would be pretty low to fly all the way out to Boston for the sole purpose of intimidating someone that you're blaming for a pending eviction. Not only that, but I mean, a 2-week ban, it takes at least 30 days to fall behind on your rent. Usually a couple months before your landlord comes knocking, worried about, eviction. So, I mean, this points to money management issues more than it does a 2-week suspension off of YouTube.
True.
I think she said that it turned out to be a month suspension, right?
Again, that's her. That's on her, but even a month.
Yeah.
Well, can anyone even find out if there's a hold in California for evictions? I know in my state there is, New York there is. So, I mean, then that would be null and void. I mean, obviously she would have to pay it come January or whatever date they say, but, I'm pretty sure most states have a hold on evictions right now.
Let's find out.
By the way, Robin Thompson still can't stop laughing.
I know. She laughs a lot.
She does.
It is what it is.
And also,
No worries.
Hold on a second, Pat. With when you guys had your suspension, I believe it worked. It's like 10 or 15 business days, not work days.
Well, we didn't have a suspension. What it was it was a copyright issue with the live stream, and we were able to sort that out pretty quickly because fair use exists. And I mean that's what I mean. She has been just frantically trying to hit us with as many fraudulent DMCA takedowns as possible, right? And she has been just trying to, I heard at one point my social security number was getting put out there, which again, if you don't want the heat, like you just said, Furry, don't fucking do shit like that. Cause she thinks she's clever, but at the end of the day, there is a very easy, map to map out here that all leads back to her. It's not and if I can figure it out, then you best believe when I turn it over to the authorities, they can too. Just fucking stop. Get a job. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. Yep. So there's
comments.
It says that under new legislation. Hold on. Let me share this for a minute. I'm gonna do this and then I'll give you back the screen, Pat. Maybe I will. Okay. Sorry. Let me pull this up and see if we can even read it. But. Okay. We see that? Great. Okay. So this is as of September 1st. California okays an extension of COVID moratorium on evictions. So I'm going to get through all this stuff. So under the new legislation, which went into effect immediately as of September 1st, tenants who pay at least 25% of their rent from September 1st through January 31st will be protected from eviction. So all she had to do, in theory here, is pay 25% of her rent, and she would be good. So I don't believe that, given that the odds of her being subject to an eviction at this point because of YouTube or any other reason are pretty slim. And if that's the case, that means that since September 1st minimum, or before that even, she has not paid at least 25% of her rent, which if you know that you can get away with a quarter of it, just pay the quarter of it. I don't understand why you would. But then again, in this video, I don't know if you guys are noticing it or not, but she's sniffling a lot.
Yes, she is.
Awful lot.
Especially one nostril.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comments said that Furry has her own subscription platform, which a lot of people subscribe to. Isn't that income?
Yeah, it would be. What does that sound?
You.
Oh, no, it's not me. All right.
Be happy. I've had worse. I've lived in worse situations. At least I have a roof over my head. I didn't have one last time.
Hey, Billy Blair.
Now if I get kicked out, then I will be homeless but sheltered because I have this and I have a place to lock and keep my stuff safe. So at least I have that. Before, I didn't even have that. Coming in, I didn't even have a tent. I eventually got a tent, but yeah. So like I said, there's a moratorium on evictions, but I'm not in a lease, a traditional lease. So
What's that mean?
It doesn't matter though. It does not matter whether you were under a lease or whether you were under a verbal agreement or a month-to-month agreement on paper. Like, you have the same basic protections as far as you cannot just be thrown out in the street in the United States of America. You absolutely have to go through an eviction process, and the timelines for the eviction processes, as well as the sort of the what's the word I'm looking for, like standards for an eviction, vary from state to state. But the one thing that is uniform is that if you are a tenant, you are a tenant. If you have lived in an address for at least 30 days, you now have established tenancy, and they have to take you to court to kick you out. So if they're putting a moratorium on all evictions, it doesn't matter what your lease or your rental agreement looks like. It's still a moratorium on all evictions. And I know this because I deal with this, right? Like, in our eviction moratorium just ran up in October in Massachusetts, but like, it did not matter whether the landlords that I work for, whether they have a month-to-month lease or just a verbal agreement, or frankly a squatter on their property. If they are tenants, they could not be evicted.
Maybe she's living in a storage unit with Shelly.
Right, but and I hear that, Luck Warriors, but the fact of the matter is, though, that like, whether you're a guest or an actual tenant, like, they cannot just throw you out of your home. You have to be evicted.
Right. Yeah.
But it also looks like I'm not gonna be able to make it, so no big deal. I'll get on my feet again somehow. Anyways, Yep. So.
And here's what I don't understand: whenever you watch her live stream, she's getting thousands of dollars on live streams almost on a daily basis. Where's all that money going?
Up her nose.
Well,
yeah, I don't know. On it, there's probably nothing else good on this video, honestly. I don't know.
No,
Like,
I don't think so.
My business, but like, there's YouTube's going to take their cut out of the thousands of dollars that she's even if she makes $1,000 on every live stream. We'll just say that, right? And she does 5 live streams a month, which she really does more than that. But so you figure they're going to take about a third, I think maybe as much as 40% of that, but you're still left with like, $1,000 times $5,000, take a third of that away, and you've still made a couple grand.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, easily.
Kate, you got a question there?
No. So I think I've said in previous live streams as well, unfortunately, that request takes somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks pre-COVID. So I'm not sure what it's going to look like with COVID, but I mean, we have at least probably another 3 weeks to go.
Thanks, Billy.
Right. Thank you, South Jersey. Yes, coach. Exactly. Imagine getting paid to post videos of being an idiot and getting. She didn't even get shot. She was grazed. It was supposed to be a warning shot.
She was ever an accidental discharge, right?
Well, I would say it was more of a negligent discharge than an accidental.
Right. Well, is there a difference?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. I guess they're very close, but negligency is I guess truly an accidental would be, maybe something mechanical with the firearm that messes up and causes it to discharge, which is, unusual. Like, I guess, there's some weapons if you load them incorrectly, like I'll give a great example. The M1 Garand, if you drop a round in the chamber and then try to load it and just slam the bolt forward, you could have a slam fire and that would accidentally discharge. Negligent is you got your finger on the trigger when you're not supposed to be and you discharge the weapon.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense when you put it that way.
What else you got, Kate, for us?
I mean, not a lot else. We're still in this like development phase. I'm really pushing this survey. Again, if you fill out the survey, I've been putting the link in the comments here. Click on it, fill it out, your honest opinion, whatever else, throw your email in the bottom. We are going to be drawing for $75 cash and some merchandise because we are broke bitches, but we appreciate you and want to give you something. I felt like so stupid too. I was like, enter to win $75, but like this is not a money-making juggernaut over here. Like we're not a media empire. We're modest.
And not actually coffee mugs, just styrofoam cups.
Yeah.
Well, how many more responses have you gotten on the survey?
Let's see. We have received 80 responses.
That's pretty
good.
Pretty good. I appreciate that. We're gonna run this till Sunday. We'll draw it live on Sunday. Figure out who got it. It looks like we're getting a lot of feedback here. Looks like you guys want us to get into other internet dramas. I mean, we can do that. I don't know if we want to. We're quite talented in that arena. We can really get a feud going over here, right?
Honestly, the less drama that we can cover, the better I think will be personally. But
sometimes it just gets all consuming. It's like, and then it really does become just like a 2-hour circle jerk twice a week where we're like, guys, listen to this drama again. Although something like Furry Potato whining and complaining over, a terms of service ban from YouTube and crying about how she's going to be homeless and have to go on unemployment is hard to pass up. Like it just is. That's hard to pass up because it's ludicrous. Everything that she does is just ludicrous. The backpedaling and trying to weasel her way out of any sort of culpability in the Hemmings situation, which there were a lot of people that witnessed that. You know what I mean? Like there is still evidence in the corners of the internet that can be drugged back up. And the absence of criminal charges does not mean that it did not happen. And when we want to talk about a pattern of harassment that she's trying to vehemently, deny, but it's pretty weak. Like, lady, you've been convicted of making terroristic threats. Like, I don't know how much more of an established penchant for harassment that is, but I mean, literally making terroristic threats.
Did I know that Kate did, but did any of the rest of you guys catch No Name Audits in the Wheel of Excuses?
Oh, I like this one. Sticky says, play Honey Badger's video. Unfortunately for Zoe, her Honey Badger channel on library.tv was taken down and turned over to law enforcement a couple days ago. So that worked out well for her. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh no. Again, like, if you don't want to be seen as establishing a pattern of harassment, stalking, intimidation, you probably should not do shit like that. Because you think you're clever and it won't get traced back to you, and then whoops, it is.
Paulie, what was the thing you were asking if we saw? And it was No Name?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you saw the No Name video on Brian's panel yesterday of No Name making a million excuses of why he's destroying Josh Abrams' channel. I mean, literally, it was great. Me and Kate was reviewing it on my show, and it was like just one after another, just absolute bullshit. And then at one point, he said he had to meet with Josh and get lawyers involved because there's so much involved with this and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, it was weak. It was weak. It was definitely weak.
It was definitely weak.
Yeah.
Hi, Desert. How are you?
Well, hello there. How's everybody doing this evening?
That's very funny.
Hey, Kate. I kind of mentioned this to you, and I want and was wanting to bring it up on Sunday, but something else has come up on the subject. And could I have 2 minutes?
Absolutely. You can have as many minutes as you please.
Many people may not know, and apparently the community is kind of lost in the subject, is Antelope Valley watchman Stephen Laquios lost his daughter in a horrific car accident on the 1st of November. I know Stephen and I have been adversarial. We kind of went over things when we met. We still have our disagreements on certain subject matter. However, this is a real life situation that nobody deserves. And the thing that came up this evening is my wife brought it to my attention is if you go to AV Watchman's channel, in his community page, he's asking the community to help him bury his daughter. They need funeral expenses. As soon as I go home and check the mattress and see what I have available, I will be donating to this PayPal. I never ask anybody to donate to anything that I wouldn't donate to myself. But apparently this is a lost on the community at large, and I would just like to ask people if they could open their hearts and just help out a person who had tragedy befall them. That's it. That's about it.
Okay. Do we have a link for that?
I did send you a link in Discord.
Okay, so we'll go ahead. We'll throw that on. It's a PayPal link?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is it a pool or is it just a PayPal link?
It's a pool.
Okay. All right. Yep. Then I'll throw it on the community page.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just terrible. That really is terrible.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
That's sad because, and funeral expenses are so, it's crazy how expensive it is. even if you want to get somebody cremated, which is usually the cheapest option, it's still expensive. So.
Other than that, I'll go check out the survey as well and put in my opinions.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to put that up. This is like a probably terrible cloud. How old was she?
I don't know how old she was, but apparently she was pretty young.
Yeah, I get that's really a non sequitur. It doesn't matter either way. It's a loss. It's a loss. You're never supposed to outlive your children. That's terribly tragic. So, don't really appreciate his videos. Just gonna throw that out there, but I will be contributing to that as well.
All right, I appreciate that. I appreciate anybody else who can help him out. I truly feel that the community at large is not stepping up to the plate to help somebody like this who,
yeah, and I would say
tragedy come to him.
The auditors and the auditor supporters there, like if you can donate for somebody's bail money, then you damn well should be able to donate for somebody who just lost their child. That does take precedent, I think. So I would hope that, take some coffee money off, for a week and throw it at this guy or decide that the next time that, one of these guys gets locked up, instead of, paying for them to get out, to just inevitably get locked up again, give it to AV Watchmen instead. Cause that is just, all difference aside, that's really sad. I'm kind of at a loss for words. And I would hope.
All right, everybody.
I'm sorry, that was terrible. Like, just dead silence. That's a tough subject, but I would hope that people don't. There's plenty of reasons that you can level legitimate criticism at other people. But how somebody copes with a loss like that, I would hope that people just acknowledge that is off limits, because unfortunately I've seen it done with Extra Good Citizen too, where the people will jump him for the unfortunate passing of his daughter so many years ago, and that's just fucked up. So some things are just off limits, and that is just off limits. Let this man grieve however he does. Don't micromanage his grief, or not micromanage, but don't pick apart his grief and kind of look for cracks in it or anything else like this. Like, just let the man grieve. He just lost a child. So I would hope that everybody agrees that is off limits.
Oh yeah, but he's a thief.
Yeah, and on that subject, well, Sasquatch.
I've seen the text. That's my belief.
What do you mean?
Citizen is a thief.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with the loss of his daughter. Is my point.
No, that's off limits.
Right. That's all I was saying.
Absolutely off limits.
We weren't talking about John. He's not, I wasn't talking about that. What I was just saying is that I've seen it done to him. And I think that you can call somebody a thief, right? And still leave the loss of a child or something really traumatic and personal and raw off the table. And I would hope that where I've seen it done with Extra Good Citizen, that it's not replicated with AV Watchmen, because there's just some things that should be off the limits. They're too personal. They're too deep. They're too raw.
Yeah, Kay, am I still being heard?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I spoke with John earlier today. And this was in Discord chat, and we had been back and forth on the subject that Sasquatch is bringing up, and one of the things that I think I did is I felt that I kind of disparaged the loss of his daughter in our discussions, and I apologized to him for that. He basically said, I don't think he ever said anything bad about her. But I felt I needed to apologize to him. What just recently occurred with Stephen, it brought that up. And yes, I fully agree with everybody that there has been on several occasions in some of the arguments that people who have lost loved ones have been brought up and used against them in arguments, and it's wrong, and I was wrong.
Yeah, just deeply personal, traumatic shit. Leave people's families out of it. Leave their kids out of it. If you know that somebody has experienced something that is, has the potential to be tremendously painful and just like, it's like raw, you know what I mean? Just fucking leave it alone. You don't need, the winner is not the person who punches the lowest. That's an undeniable fact. I know that a lot of the time I think that gets skewed on the internet, and you're over a keyboard. It's not as personal as talking to somebody face to face. You don't know these people, right? Lots of strangers out there, but at the end of the day, we're all human, and there has to be some humanity behind this. As mean as I can be, there's just some things that even I say, like, they're off limits, and somebody's children definitely is, particularly if they've just lost one. Anyway, that was a downer. So I will be putting that link in the community.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, I appreciate it though, because if we can support that, then I certainly would be happy to. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that in the link in our community section of our channel. And you know what, guys, like our little community here, we tend to be quite caring and generous, and we've made things happen for people in the past. So I'm sure we can do something for this guy too, if you are so inclined. If you're not, that's fine. No explanation necessary, but we'll at least put that out there. So. Also,
all right. Thank you again for the time.
Birthday. Okay, thanks. Today's Murph's birthday. He's 53 years old. Let's all wish him a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Murph.
Yeah, Murph. Happy birthday, Murph.
53 years young. All right, so that's probably we're probably going to wrap up because there's not a lot to talk.
He's older than dirt.
Ah,
I'm just kidding because I'm 58. Happy birthday.
Yeah. So we are working on some, development here. We're trying to fix the setup that we have with the equipment as well as the content. So we'll be unrolling some new things. And again, could really use your feedback, guys. We're building this channel together. So if you want to fill out that survey, you will be entered to win the cash and merchandise if you put your email address at the bottom, and we'll go ahead and we'll draw that live.
I'm too lazy to go and edit, but I like these panels that you do.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get rid of panels altogether. I just, I want to fix up some things about the format of them. I don't like when people talk over each other. I don't like when it goes off the rails or, we have 16 minutes straight of boob jokes and things of that nature. It's not really what I'm looking to do. But yeah, I won't get rid of them altogether. It's, more like, we want to kind of expand the repertoire. Some of this gets repetitive and then it gets boring. When I get bored, I don't want to do it as much. You know what I mean? Like I got to keep myself interested too. And I'm a high intensity sort of person. So I am looking for new things to kind of fall down the rabbit hole on.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, fill out the survey if you can. And we'll be working on stuff. AZ's in the house and she and I are working on some stuff too. So, we're going to be growing together. And in the interim, please, if you can fill out the survey and we'll be drawing that live on Sunday night.
And Kate, the truth is out there. Aliens do exist.
I will find it. I'm telling you, that shit, that fucks me off. I'm afraid of that shit.
Well, when I lived in California, I lived out near a Navy base out there in the middle of the desert called China Lake. And you could go out there and look up in the sky and you see some pretty strange things flying around.
Joshua Duffy brings up an interesting point here, and one that I do want to acknowledge, that we're suckers if we think his funeral costs are not paid. Maybe he wants money for something else. I don't know. I hate to shut the door on stuff like this. Although maybe I was a little premature in being like, I'll get behind this. I don't think that you generally anticipate the loss of a child, particularly like this. So I can't see why he would necessarily have a lot of funds set aside for funeral costs. I don't know that he had life insurance on this child. Really, why would you? So I'm not sure definitively that the funeral costs are paid for, but we can look into it a little bit. So give me a day, let me vet this, and then I'll put it up on the community page if it shakes out. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of difficult because now I grew up with a dad who's a financial planner, so I mean, my dad's always had life insurance and stuff like that, but a lot of people don't because they just don't think they're going to need it. But honestly, if you don't have life insurance in your family, you probably should.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't. My first impression, with all due respect, Joshua, is that I don't necessarily think that it is a slam dunk that those funeral costs would be paid for. I don't know. And I don't know how much support this individual does or does not have in his life. So I just don't know.
Well, I'm going to go cook some dinner.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye, Sasquatch.
Bye.
All right. I'm going to keep spamming this survey in there for a couple minutes. Any last thoughts, guys, before we wrap this up?
No, just hope.
Not for me.
I'm looking forward to what the surveys say, So
yeah, we'll be going through them this week. So I am excited to get some feedback here.
I'm waiting for a Sunday fun day.
Yes. Oh yeah. Are you gonna be in there with me this week, Doofy?
Yes.
We're gonna hang out?
Yep.
All right. That sounds good then. All right, well guys, I guess we're gonna wrap it up then. Have a good night and we will see you on Sunday. And Stanley, I love you. All right, good night, guys.
All right, good night.